Okay, in this video we will review this application we use to perform inventory. It is called Inventory Plus. Here in the bottom right side we have it, Inventory Plus. Let's open it. Okay, it is loading. It is just a splash screen. Okay, this is the first screen. In this screen we need to input some data. First we need to input web service URL. Now this web service could be fixed or could be changed. It depends on the client, but for most client it's going to be the same. Now we have this input, which is the client. Using the same web service we're going to have several clients available, so we need to type the one that we are looking for, and this is the name that we're using now. After that we have this button, connecting button, so I will press it and it will show information about region and building, or conjunto in Spanish. Okay, what is this? Region and building is information about the general locations breakdown structure of our software. A location is an abstract concept about where I can save an asset tagged. So in this case you can have several regions, and each region could have several buildings. In this case we have one region, it's named Mexico, another that is named Mexico AE. I will select this last region. This last region only has one building or conjunto, but maybe if we select another region we'll get more buildings. So for this example I will select this region and I will select the only building. Next step is pressing descargar, which is download. It will connect to the web service and it will fetch the data about the assets and locations. Okay, first it is going to ask for user and password. I will type our user and I will type our password. Finally I'm going to press access or ingresar, and this is the first screen we're going to see once we are logged in. This screen is about settings, the Bluetooth reader settings, because it is essential that we have a Bluetooth RFID Bluetooth reader in order to perform inventory or tagging assets. So we have some options. The first one is to reconnect to last reader. Then we have connect to reader, disconnect from reader, or to reset reader. Also we have a power level which goes from 10 dB to 29 dBs. Okay, now I'm going to connect to the reader. To do so, first I need to activate a physical reader. I'm going to do so. You're going to hear a beep. Okay, now it is active. Now we need to press connect to the reader. I have it previously paired, so it is 1128. So I'm going to select it. It is connecting. Now it is connected. Okay, that was the first thing. Now my reader is connected. I can go to the general module, and that general module we can access by pressing Módulo Principal here. Okay, this is general module or monitoring module. First we have this breakdown of locations. If you remember, we have selected region and we have selected building. Now after building I can choose between floors and also final locations of assets. In here we have one floor, it is PVAE. If I open it by pressing, now I can see that in the top we got the path, and we have sublocations here. Ubicaciones could be sublocations. If we press one of those sublocations, I can open that sublocation, and that sublocation is going to show the assets that belong to that sublocation, to that specific sublocation. For instance, we had cities IE, and we have EPZ. Okay, different assets belonging to different sublocations. Okay, what is the first interaction we can? The first interaction is tagging an asset. That means that in that specific sublocation you want to assign an asset. Of course, you need to tag it too. So first you need to long select the location, and after that go to side menu and press etiquetaje, that means tagging, and then you're going to be prompted with a general table of reference assets. That means that here you have a list that you can choose one of the assets to get tagged. So let's say I'm gonna look for a laptop. Okay, I've got several laptops. They have to be different laptops. Let me select one. If I had an image, I could have here an image. Let me select an example with an image. I think it's here. Okay, of course it doesn't match with the name, it's just an example. Okay, and in here you have this option to read an EPC, that means RFID chip. Actually, I'm pulling the trigger in the reader and I am getting different EPC. EPC is the, let's say, the nickname of the RFID chip. And once you have one EPC read, you can save it. For instance, this EPC starts with 30083. Let's press save, and it has been saved. Okay, so let's go to the sublocation, and we can find it. It is not the one. It is the same name, and because we previously had this kind of asset already existing, but it was not the one because of the EPC number. Okay. Yeah. We had to go back and go here again so it could load that asset. This one is the asset we have tagged. It is in cities. Okay. That was the first interaction we were able to perform. The second interaction is inventory that specific sublocation. So we go to we long press again, and then we go to side menu and inventory. In here we have all the assets belonging to that sublocation. Using our RFID reader, pulling the trigger, it is going to show us how many assets we need to find in a total number of assets. How many assets we have found in green, it is green colored. How many assets don't belong to that sublocation in yellow. Here I have performed the inventory and I've got one belonging asset. It is green colored. And if I change sublocation, for instance EPC, I know that this asset we have just tagged doesn't belong to EPC. So let's perform an inventory. Okay, and here we have 12 total assets. Okay, we have found several assets that doesn't belong to that specific sublocation, but the one I was looking for is this, the second one, because it matches the EPC number that we have just tagged. So it doesn't belong to that location, to that sublocation. We know that it belongs to the other sublocation, so that's the reason it is yellow colored. We have one option to move that asset from that location, the original location, to this specific location, and that option is by long pressing and tapping transfer or transferir. Now it becomes green colored because now that asset belongs to this specific location I'm performing the inventory. Okay, so I go back and I perform an inventory again. I'm going to read again. Okay, now that specific asset, it is green colored because I have moved that asset to this specific location. Okay, that was the second interaction, inventory. We have more interactions. Let's say you wanna change the RFID chip of a specific asset. You can go side menu. After you can go cambiar tag, changing tag. You can read any tag and it's going to show the information about this tag. I mean asset. If you press cambiar or change, it is going to expect another EPC number or another RFID chip number. If you select any other chip number, this description, this asset is going to change its identificator. Okay, so now the EPC number has changed. Okay, we have more interactions. Using inventory module, we have seen that we can transfer assets from one location or sublocation to another sublocations, but also it is possible by identifying an asset, for instance this one. If you long press, you can mover by selecting where it is located in EPC. If you select cities, this one should have been moved. Okay, now in EPC we don't have anymore this name asset, trituradora de hojas. If we go to cities, now we should found it. Okay, this is not. Okay, it is here. It was not moved. Let's try again. it is not here. It is here again. Okay, it is not working. But that is the idea. If you have one asset in one sublocation, you don't have to perform an inventory in order to move it. You could perform an inventory and the asset would move, but it shouldn't be necessary. So just need to long press any asset and move it to the specific location you want the asset to be. Okay, so we saw 4 interactions. First was tagging, etiquetaje. Second one was inventory. Third one was changing tag, cambiar tag. And last one was mover or move an asset. Okay, basically that's the application. Of course, we have more details like tagging. For instance, let's perform at more deep tagging. Etiquetaje. We saw that you can select anyone. Here you have some options like bar, that means you are going to read several tags, and you are going to have a list that is very functional, mostly when you are working with assets that doesn't have a serial number, like chairs or tables or coach, something like that you can massively tag those kind of assets. We have keep or mantener or keep that asset. That means that you are tagging the same asset once again. So you don't have to go back and look for the reference asset and go here and select some data. It is going to keep the last asset you have tagged. You have also properties. Here you have possibility to modify some fields, especially city. Talking about serial number, most of the assets, especially electronic ones, have a barcode about its own serial number. So here we can launch phone camera to read a serial number. That's very practical. Okay, so we can save the information, and the only difference is that we're going to have this information, this serial number information. We're going to read any EPC. If the EPC doesn't exist, it's going to get saved. Okay, it is not working right now, but this is the idea. Okay, and that's it. If you want to load any other client, you have to log out or cerrar sesión. Directed to login screen. This is when we